So let's get this going. Lordy Lord, this is all right.
Team. If we were to lose, we would not be getting invited to the White House. And I remember she made a comment about both teams should be invited because it was sportsmanship. And I'm like, are you saying that because of what I did and what like that stuff like that? It bothers me because you are a woman at the end of the day. And you're supposed to be standing behind us before anything. So it's hard to see things like that and not to comment back on it. But same, if we were to lose, we would not be getting invited to the White House. And I remember she made a comment about both teams should be invited because it was sportsmanship. And I'm like, are you saying that because of what I did and what like that stuff like that? It bothers me because you are a woman at the end of the day. And you're supposed to be standing behind us before anything. So it's hard to see things like that and not to comment back on it. But same, if we were to get a lot of phone calls, and that's why she wants to come out and apologize. But at the same time,
the damage is
I don't accept I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't accept the apology because of you said what you
Jill
said.
Biden.
Yeah.
First lady.
The wife,
First lady.
yeah.
You said
First
what you
lady.
said, and you meant what
I
you
said what I said, and like you can't go back on certain things that you say. I mean, you felt like they should have came because of sportsmanship, right? They can have that spot. Like we'll go to the Obamas. We'll see, I'm gonna see Michelle. I'm gonna see Barack.
Hold on. So did you guys speak to the first lady?
No, apparently she was supposed to come to our locker room before the game, but we said no.
Before the game?
Yeah, she was supposed to come to our locker room and go to Iowa's locker room. I don't know if she talked to them. I don't know if she did, but we said we didn't want to. We didn't want her coming to the locker room. I think Joe Biden had put somebody else to win the national championship. He didn't put us on his bracket to get out of Baton Rouge. So I was like, bet. At a cup.
That's all I got to say.
So many things to add there. So many things to add.
Mm-hmm. So, all right. So, Louisiana State University, LSU, was in a championship game against Iowa, if I'm correct.
Yep.
And so, the game before, one of their star players, a young white lady, was talking trash on the court, which it happens all the time in sports, right? And she was doing things like, can't see me, like on the court. It's the John Cena thing, right?
Right.
And look, I don't count that as anything bad or nefarious. It's just like, okay, fine. But then, and they won handedly, but at the championship, I think it was towards the end of the game.
Yes.
Angel Reese looked at her and said, can't see me and give me my championship ring. That's trash talk, right?
Yep.
And the crazy part is Angel Reese is getting flack for trash talk, whereas the young white lady, I think her name was Caitlin, I forgot her last name. But she is essentially, was saved from any type of vitriol whatsoever. And it's just completely unfair, and it's like, wait a minute. Actually, let me show this really quick, because whenever the champions of a game, whether it be the NFL, the NBA, what have you, they win, the winners always get to go to the White House. Well, not this case. Says she's not wrong either. You invite the champions to the White House. Biden tried to invite both LSU and Iowa. Should have been just LSU. We support Angel all the way on this. So they tried to invite the losers, even though they lost. Right?
Well, I want to show some of the backlash, like where it started. And I believe it started with Keith Olbermann. Mm-hmm. And I want to show this here. So Keith Olbermann, some of you may be familiar with him. Mm-hmm. He's a shit lib. Like, I'm just going to be real. he's a shit lib. He's ridiculous. So Keith Olbermann took to Twitter And he called Angel Reese an effing idiot after she did that hand gesture.
Mhm.
And so what Keith Olbermann didn't realize is that Black Twitter was going to come for him. And they did. Because the thing is this, and I think I tweeted about this as well. I said, had it been a conservative who made that same comment that Keith Olbermann made, liberals would have lost their freaking mind. And so now you saw on display a liberal, quote unquote liberal, calling a Black woman an effing idiot. Now he has issued an apology after people came for him.
Mm-hmm.
Because we have to remember some of the things that have happened in sports in reference to commentators. There was a conservative commentator at one point that called the women from a college basketball team, called them nappy-headed hoes.
Mm-hmm.
There was that, right?
Yep.
And
that was Don
lost
Imus.
it. Yeah, people lost it. And people were like, okay, that's it. You got to get rid of him. Like, he can't keep that job. And I think Keith Olbermann thought that he was going to be safe, so to speak, because of who he is.
Mm-hmm.
And people came after him. I'll see if I can. There it is. There's the tweet right there for people to see. What a effing idiot. Angel Reese to Caitlin Clark. And this is what people are referring to. This is a screenshot. But what she was doing was waving her hand, and she was pointing here for the ring.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So it's not like this hasn't been done before. Here it is. I'll show you guys. I'll play this here. Let me see if it'll. Twitter is like this sometimes with videos. I hate this. I don't know why they have this issue. Let me refresh. But the thing is that it was on full display for the world to see. See this? So this is what she did. And it was on full display for the world to see that here you go. You have liberals. They can do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Do the same thing. So people came for him, and he said, it doesn't matter the gender, the sport, the background. You're seconds away from the championship, and you do something like this, and it overshadows all the good. Mindless, classless, and what kind of coach does this team have? Look at the words that he used. Mindless, classless. Then he came back after people came for him and said, I apologize for being uninformed last night about the backstory on this. I don't follow hoops, college, pro, men or women. I had no idea about Clark. That's who you were referring to earlier, JB.
Mm-hmm.
Both were wrong. This is what I said in today's Countdown podcast. So Keith Olbermann, I'm sorry, but as someone, you're supposed to be, let me tell you about his background really quick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, he is a sports guy, isn't he?
He's an American sports commentator.
So how in the world are you uninformed about hoops, college, pro, men or women? If you're a
JB,
sports commentator.
JB, I was thinking the same thing.
I smell bullshit.
And what people have to understand is that this tweet was seen by 34.7 million people. So this is kind of what started it. And so the thing is that this is another blue check, like liberal. And Black Twitter came for him and shut him down because I'm sorry, but no, it's not okay. And I still stand by this. Like I said, if it had been a conservative sports commentator that said what he said, they would have been like, that's it. That's his job. And I've seen it happen before.
Yep.
But this speaks to another issue, JB, because this goes to show you what we've talked about often before, is that some of the same critiques that liberals give towards conservatives, liberals have that same mindset. They're just more covert about it. And every now and then they'll slip up and show their real self, which he did.
Yeah.
Cause let's keep it real. Let's be real about this. If that would have happened, if a conservative would have called a black woman an effing idiot, that would have been the end of that.
Yep. We need to keep that same energy, right?
That's right. I don't think he was expecting the backlash that he received. Now, on to this point about Jill Biden, her response was to invite both teams to the White House. So I want to be very clear as someone who's played sports before and someone who went to a sports school. No. No. I'm very competitive when it comes to sports, and that should not happen. I don't believe in participation trophies. I don't believe in that. I know there's like this new thing that's going on where they're telling these kids, especially the younger kids, well, let's give everybody a trophy. No, it's a game for a reason. And there's a winner and there's a loser. This idea that we need to cater to people's feelings so that they don't feel bad for losing, that's not how life works. In the real world, sometimes you win and sometimes you lose. You don't get a trophy just for showing up. So I never bought into that whole participation like trophy thing. All these years, these teams that have won have been given the opportunity to visit the White House. The teams that won, not the teams that lost. And if you look at the photos of the Iowa girls basketball team and the LSU basketball team, the Iowa girls basketball team is pretty much all white. And I'm going to keep it real. Jill Biden showed sympathy towards them because it was an almost all white team. That's why she was able to have that empathy for them when that hand gesture was done towards Caitlyn. Now, Caitlyn,
you got this, Sebs. You don't even need me for the show.
No, I'm just saying, I'm just keeping it real.
No, you made a great point. You made a great point.
This is what this is really about. And we've said this before about Joe Biden, the Bidens. If it was the other way around and it happened to LSU, Jill Biden would have not felt that same type of empathy for those black girls that she did for those white girls. That's just the reality of the situation. So this idea that the losing team gets invited to the White House, no, that is not how this works.
Well,
I don't know.
Is this any surprise? I mean, look who she married.
Well, it's like, call me tough, call me mean, but it is what it is. At the end of the day, that's not how sports works. And if you have a difficult problem losing, or there's this idea that you're going to win or you're going to lose, that's how sports works. If you can't handle losing, then maybe you shouldn't play sports. Now, to be fair, Caitlyn did come back and say that she didn't think that it was an issue. The hand gesture and stuff like that. But this is something we've seen time and time again, where people tend to have more empathy for white people than they do for black people. And it's not just this hand gesture during a sports game, it's in life, period. Studies have shown that people are more likely to feel sorry for white victims than they are for black victims. Look at the police brutality cases, right? Look at the sexual assault cases. Right? So we've seen this over and over again. So Jill Biden also got some responses from Black Twitter.
Boy, I'm telling you. And that's my problem. It's like, look at who she married. You don't think she didn't realize that part about her husband? Two peas in a pod.
I feel sorry for these girls. This is about sportsmanship. No, it's a game. Someone wins and someone loses. That's how this works. And when you go out on that court or that field, you give it your all. You do the best that you can. But at the end of the day, someone's going to win and someone is going to lose. And we do not sit here and feel sorry for losers. We feel sorry for the people that are worth feeling sorry for outside of something like sports. So yes, you have that same type of empathy towards someone who, let's say, is a victim of police brutality. You bring that energy there, not for a basketball game. And I can tell you, as someone who went to a sports school, the athletes at these schools don't play.
Mm-hmm.
They don't play.
Mm-hmm.
So it's no, you show up or you go home. That's how this works. Come back better next year. Sorry for you.
I mean,
sorry.
Isn't real sportsmanship is recognizing that even if you lose, you respect the person who won and respect the accolades that they get for winning? Isn't that sportsmanship?
Yeah, and my coach, what did she do? My coach used to make us at the end of the game, whether we won or lost, go shake hands with the other team. That's how that works.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it works. And so it's just that's the sportsmanship piece.
Mm-hmm.
That at the end you can still say good job, you know. But no, you don't get to go visit the White House. Go visit the White House during your own time. Maybe you sign up for one of those White House tours that they have in DC. Go visit the White House on your own time. You don't get to go there in reference to this championship game because you lost. You stay at home.
I mean, if they want to, they can go see Kamala. And then Kamala goes, "Don't come. Don't come."
I love it. No, it's true. I mean, come on, JB. And so LSU, you know, at least Angel has said that, you know, she doesn't want to go. She don't want to go to the White House now. Honestly, I don't blame her. Now, I will say to something else that she said, you know, we'll go see the Obamas. You don't need to go see them either. They're not that much better. They're not that much better. Obama's not on your side either. Okay.
Yeah. Angel, if you're watching this, I got a couple articles we can share. Yeah. You might want to skip on them too.
Yes.
So, just saying. Let me show you this video. It's kind of, you know, some continuity because it's on TikTok. So let's go.
I think everyone should see this video. It's not about race. It's not about race. Hold on a second.
Just got done watching the women's basketball final for college hoops.
Did you now?
And there was a disrespectful act done by an LSU player to Caitlin Clark of Iowa.
Oh my, what was possible?
Angel Reese knows a ring is coming. Now, this is classless. We do not want to teach this at all for young athletes.
Oh wait, we don't?
As Caitlin Clark, yes, may have been cocky and may have done things to the other team in previous occasions.
Previous occasions like 2 days ago.
After a win is done, that you go over to the opponent that dropped a massive amount of points on you and come at them and taunt them.
Oh.
Disrespectful and a classless act by LSU here.
Disrespectful and classless. But wait a second.
We love to see a good clapback, right? And no one does that better than Caitlin Clark. I mean, just a couple of days ago in her game against Louisville, she basically told Haley Bailiff, "You're down 15 points. Shut up." We're going to go talk to some of her teammates to see what are some of their best Caitlin clapbacks or best motivations.
Let's see.
Let's find out. The last game, she was like, "You can't see me."
Oh.
Can you pause for a second?
That's an animal.
I just want to point something out. Notice how the gentleman also used the same word that Keith Olbermann used, which was classless.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yepers. Continue.
Everyone fired up when she gets an animal and she like go like this and come to the bench and she's like, "Let's go." That's pretty fun. She gets pretty fiery in our timeouts. You know, she might even clap back at us because she wants us to play with that same fire, you know. And sometimes we're pretty even keeled.
Fiery, there's that word again.
She's like, "Let's go, come on, get on the board," whatever it may be. She always will just come to me like after a timeout, before like a tough stretch, we think, and she'll just like give me a little bit extra reassurance. Honestly, I think the last Elite Eight game, I loved she did the John Cena thing. I think that was so cool.
So it's cool when Caitlin does it, and she gets a whole segment on ESPN about it. But it's a problem when Angel does it and she gets called disrespectful and unsportsmanlike. Yeah, but hold on. Let me let Angel talk.
But when other people do it, y'all don't say nothing.
Oh no, baby girl, they say something. They say, "Good job, Caitlin," and she fires up the team. But go ahead, I'm gonna let you finish.
Y'all don't say nothing. So this is for the girls that look like me, that's gonna speak up on what they believe in.
That's right, baby.
It's unapologetically you. And that's what I did it for tonight. This was for the more than it was bigger than me tonight. It was bigger than me. Twitter is gonna go in a rage every time. And I mean, I'm happy. I feel like I've helped grow women's basketball this year. I'm super happy and excited. So I'm looking forward to celebrating in the next season.
Boom. Baby, when I tell you I love Gen Z, I love Gen Z because they are not afraid. They are not afraid to speak the truth. They're not afraid to speak the truth in public. And they might be our only hope left to keep us from turning into this Christo-fascist hellscape that these old white people are trying to turn America into. But hold on, one more thing.
I might have to pause that because the music, I don't want us to get copyright strike, but oh my gosh. Okay, now.
White people, you constantly and consistently move the goalposts to accommodate your mediocrity. Y'all were all about trash talking when Caitlin and the majority white team of Iowa was on top. But as soon as black girls get out there and sun you and let you know for a fact you cannot see us in this sport, you get in your feelings. When y'all disabuse yourselves of the lie of white supremacy, we'll all be better for it. Trust me. When Caitlin was on top, trash talk was fine and worthy of a highlighted segment on ESPN. When Angel was on top, trash talk is unsportsmanlike. Please fix yourselves because the hypocrisy is exhausting. At the end of the day, I wish you all would just say what you mean and mean what you say, because writing all these think pieces on sportsmanlike conduct and tying yourself in knots using circular logic to justify your hypocrisy is ridiculous. Just say you think Angel Reese is a uppity.
Yep, that's what it is. That's what it is. Because the reality is this. When the white girl did it, they said, yeah, she fires up the team. She's fiery. When the black girl does it, it's classless. It's disrespectful. We see these comparisons often. Like, we talk about hairstyles. We talked about this one time before on the show. When black girls wear their hair in braids or cornrows or whatever, people will respond with, that's unprofessional, or it's ghetto. But when a white girl does it, appropriates black culture, she's on the front cover of the magazine. Hello, Kim Kardashian. Hello, Khloe Kardashian. They're on the front cover of the magazine and they're referred to as trendy. You see how they change the vocabulary depending on the color of your skin, but you're doing the same act?
Yeah.
That's why you have to decolonize your mind.
Yep.